Welcome to Sports Talk with the Cowboy.
Welcome and thanks for riding with the Cowboy. Well, tonight we're going to talk about the Rays opening day win against the Colorado Rockies Friday night in George Steinbrenner Field. Meisner, a rookie that just came up from Durham, was hit a walk-off home run in the ninth inning to win the Rays their first game at Steinbrenner Field. Opening day last Friday. And it was a great moment when the young man hit the ball and his mom and dad and sister was in the stands. He'd been in Durham, North Carolina. They got him just the day before and brought him to Tampa and said, "You're going to play. We've had an injury." And he hit the game-winning home run in the bottom of the ninth inning. I walked up there to the plate and hit one out of the park and won the game. It was a great moment for the fans in George Steinbrenner Field and for the Ray organization and for the Rays. And we all could have used an uplift about that, and it was a very great day. And the next day we won that game, and Sunday we lost to the Colorado Rockies. And then Monday we beat the Pittsburgh Pirates. Tuesday we beat them, and today we lost to them. So in our first 6 games, we're 4 wins and 2 losses. And we're moving on to play Texas. This is Wednesday, so tomorrow night we'll be playing Texas. And we will be returning home Monday of next week for a full week of playing games in Tampa. So it was a good week for the Tampa Bay Rays. They looked good. They got hitting going pretty steady. Their pitching was excellent. Excellent pitching by their starters. And we all said that the pitching would be excellent, and it was. It delivered. And we got timely hits. They got a lot of hits last night. They won 7-0 last night over at George Steinbrenner, and a lot of people were hitting the ball. Brandon Lau hit a home run with a man on base. So they 7-0 last night victory over Pittsburgh. And today they lost, of course, 4-2. But they took the series, winning 2 out of 3 games, and they took the series against the Rockies, winning 2 out of 3 games. So 2 series wins, 4 wins out of 6. A good start to the Rays season. No major injuries. They're going out to Texas, first road trip. We'll see how they do tomorrow night. We'll get you posted next week's show how they actually are doing. We'll move on to the Bucks. No real news with the Tampa Bay Bucks this week again. Quiet over in Tampa. We re-signed a defensive lineman that we had last year that had his pectoral muscle tore in camp. We re-signed him. That was the only thing that really happened. The same thing, everybody asking about the draft, the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th of April in Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's where the NFL draft will take place. Tampa gets 7 picks. That's a pick in each round. Their first pick is the 19th overall pick. That's where the Bucs start tonight at. They can move up, move down, or stay right where they are. Well, we'll see how that goes. We won't see that until the 24th. So most things are now getting set up for the draft. First wave of free agents are gone and come. Second have come and gone. Third have come and gone. And now you're down into what's left and the draft. And they're all putting their effort and attention to the draft. The shooting of this show is the 2nd day of April. About 20 days from now, they're going to have that draft. So it's all about the draft right now. And after the draft, we'll come back and get anything we didn't get in the draft, so to speak. That's about what's going on over at Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and just not there in all the organizations. Aaron Rodgers is still not signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's the only team left offering him a contract right now. If he wants to start next year, that's where he's going to have to play. But he still hasn't accepted their contract. I'm sure closer we get to the draft, he's either going to, and myself personally, I believe he'll accept it. Strange as that is, he could have already accepted it, but it's just the way Aaron Rodgers is. We all know this. That's about it, the NFL going on right now. They had an owners meeting, any kind of rule changes. They were talking about the tush-push rule. They wanted to ban the ability of players to push the quarterback through the line, but they didn't come up with anything to stop it. It would take 24 of the 30 owners to vote to stop it. 16 said they would. But they did table it to the May meeting, which is in May at the Breakers in West Palm Beach. And they will, again, all 32 teams meet with their owners. And they will decide what rules they want to change, if they want to change any at all. That's about it, NFL, as it's going today. Nothing much spectacular happening. This is their off season. To hockey, the Tampa Bay Lightning are second in their division. They've won 4 straight hockey games. They're red hot. They've won 6 out of the last 7 games. They've won 4 straight games, and they're on their way to making the playoffs at a high seed, maybe the 1st seed, definitely the 2nd seed. So our Tampa Bay Lightning's on their way to the playoffs in approximately 2 weeks. And we'll keep you posted on what goes on over there by Celeste, and everybody's playing good. It's really a good hockey team, and they're all catching fire at the right time here at the playoffs when it gets started. We'll see how that goes, but right now they're so high seed that they're going to make the playoffs. The Orlando Magic, the basketball team in Orlando, is the 7th seed in their division, and the top 6 will make the playoffs. 7, 8, 9, and 10 will have to win a game amongst the 4 to go and make the 8 teams to go to the NBA playoffs. But the Magic are going to qualify for the play-in tournament to see if they make that final 8, which is a step up from last year when they came in 11th out of the 15 teams in the division and didn't have anything but an empty out their locker and go home. So the Orlando Magic will keep an eye on them now as they get in ready to try to make a run to the playoffs, or at least the play-in tournament to make the playoffs. As far as NASCAR is concerned, the good race this week, it was won out in Martinsville by Denny Hamlin, Martinsville, Virginia. Always wins there. This is his home state, home track. Joe Gibbs Racing, big victory, Denny Hamlin at Martinsville. Nothing unexpected. He's won like 8 out of the last 14 races there, so he's good on that track. It's near his home, and he's good at it. And he won the race. It was a tough, hard-fought race, short track race. We got a race coming up this week. The PGA is going to Texas to play the Valero tournament. They played the Texas Children's Hospital tournament last week in Houston. They're playing the Valero tournament this week in San Antonio. My golfer, Corey Connors, has won that tournament a couple of times. I hope he has a good tournament and wins it, because after that there will be a week break, and then there will be the tournament of all tournaments, the Masters, in Augusta, Georgia. And that will be the biggest of all big. That'll be one of the major 4 and the biggest of the 4 majors. The Masters tournament in Augusta will be a week after this Valero. The great thing about the Valero every year is, I think in my mind, the Texas Valero, that's the last tournament before the Masters. If you haven't won a tournament or you don't have the points to get into the Masters, if you could win that one, you could go to the Masters. So I always like to watch that tournament, see if a newcomer gets a shot. And a few years ago, Corey Connors got that shot, and it was a thrilling thing to see him get it. So we'll keep you posted on what's going on in the PGA, what's going on in NASCAR, what's going on with Orlando Magic, and with the Rays, and with the Bucks. But this is about what's going on in the first part of April. And we'll keep you posted on the next show. I'm going to go to the questions tonight. And the first question is from Beverly. And Beverly wanted to know what I thought about Steinbrenner Field and what I thought about the actual field itself. Beverly, it was a beautiful field, grass, open air, right across from Raymond James Stadium. The fans feel more at home. They're up closer to the players because it's a minor league stadium, so they're all close up there. It's not that big, I'm away from everybody kind of situation. It was nice. It was a little warm. There's no question about that. And it's going to be a lot warmer in the summertime up in there. There's no question about that, Beverly. But for right now, it was a wonderful opening day. They had the thing wonderfully done, fireworks, the American flag unfurling, the announcement of the teams, all the managers, all the coaches on both teams. It was a wonderful, wonderful game, as is opening day, because it's usually the biggest game of the year besides the playoffs. It was a real well done thing, Beverly. And that walk-off home run that he did in the top of the ninth, knowing it was his first major league game, and mom and daddy and sister was in that stand, him to walk up there and hit that ball over the fence and win that game. You couldn't script it no better. Great, great day, great stadium as it goes right now, Beverly. God bless you and thank you for your question. The next question is from Billy, and Billy wanted to know what I thought about the tush-push rule and whether I thought the NFL would stop it. Billy, I don't think they will stop it. It does look more like a rugby scrum. If you know the sport of rugby, how they get together and put the ball down there and kind of push against each other, see who comes up with the ball. If you ever get a shot, check out a video on rugby, and you'll see how they scrum up together and push like that. That's kind of like what this is. There was a rule, Billy, for years that said an NFL player of the team could not push his team's player carrying the ball in any way from the back or the front. Pull or push. They abolished that rule 3 years ago. And the Philadelphia Eagles and the Buffalo Bills decided they would concoct the tush push, where the quarterback would have a regular quarterback sneak like regular, but 2 guys behind him would push him through the line. Okay? In the old days, that couldn't have been done. So There's a lot of controversy on this tush push. I personally believe they'll probably leave it alone this year. But if anybody gets injured on it, and they've got 16 out of the 30 owners, and they need 24 for them to stop it. 16 have said they'll vote to stop it. So there's only 8 that you got to convince. So, we'll have to just watch and see what they do in May. But if anybody gets injured, if they do leave it next year, some of those 8 owners might decide they're going to go with the 16 that wanted it banned, okay? You get a couple of your linemen, your quarterback hurt real bad, and he's out for the year, and you paid him $50 million. Next time there's an owners meeting, you'll say, that vote we did last year, I'm voting with you this year. Okay, so I think they'll probably ban it because there's something about it that was never part of the game. It was always outlawed to be able to push your player in. You could block for him, but you get behind him and just use him as a battering ram. You couldn't do that, Billy. God bless you for your question, Billy, and thank you. And the last question tonight is from Cindy. And Cindy wanted to know what I thought about St. Petersburg building a aquatic park where the Rays were going to build their stadium. Cindy, there's 84 acres out there the citizens of St. Petersburg own that they wanted the Rays, as you know, to build a stadium out there and housing and an African-American museum and a lot of other things, and the city was going to pay for it all. And the Rays walked away from it. And I think it's very good what the city of St. Petersburg is going to do, because what they're going to do is going to use that 84 acres of land, and they're going to build an aquatic water park, like Wet and Wild on steroids, and build a beautiful big park for all the residents of St. Petersburg to use for free, and tourists to use for money, and generate money for the city. I think it's a good thing, and I support it. If the Rays are stupid enough to walk away from $800 million of public money to build them that stadium we just talked about, then you go ahead and build that aquatic park. And you let the citizens of St. Petersburg that pay their taxes go down there and take their kids, no matter if they're rich or poor, and down to that park and play in that park for free. And the tourists that come from all over the world to visit St. Pete can go down and pay the regular price, and the money go to the coffers of the city of St. Petersburg. I think it's a marvelous idea. And it's just a great idea, and I've got no problem with it. And Stu Sternberg should have kept his word, which he did not. And Cindy, we're going to keep watching what's going on with that, but I think it's a good idea, and I think it's a good idea for the city of St. Petersburg. Well, I want to thank everyone for watching the show tonight. I want you to continue to send your questions. We got the NFL draft coming, like I said, in Green Bay here at the end of April, and I know there's a lot of questions that you might have on who the Bucs might pick, where the Bucs will trade up, trade down, who will be the top picks. And you put them questions in the comment and send it to the show, and we'll answer the questions over the next couple weeks. The week of the draft, which is the 24th or 25th and the 26th of April, we'll have a special show the Wednesday before that, the 23rd, on the NFL draft. But we'll answer your questions. So send them questions, and send any other questions you want in any other sport, golf, football, basketball, baseball, whatever you want. Send it to our show. We'd appreciate it. Appreciate your likes. Appreciate you sharing it with your friends. And please subscribe. And until next show, God bless you, and Cowboy out.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?